When we go to the book of 2 Kings 5, we learn about the story of Naaman, the commander of the army of the king of Syria. The Bible says this man had leprosy. He was a mighty man of valor, the Bible records. So he had leprosy. So one day the Bible says there was a girl that was captured in that city or in that place, and this girl said to these guys that if only we can take my master to a prophet. There's a prophet in Israel. If we can take my master to a prophet, I believe that the prophet will pray for him and he will be healed. So Naaman went to the king, told the king, and then the king wrote the letter to the king in Israel. The Bible says the king, when he heard this, he torn his clothing and what is this man saying? Am I God to kill or to give life? And the Bible says when Elisha heard that, prophet Elisha heard that, he said to the king, why are you angry? Why do you have to torn your clothing? Tell Naaman to come here. I want to see Naaman because I want to pray for him. When we go to verse number 10, Elisha tells Naaman that go and wash your body 7 times in the river Jordan. Go to the river Jordan, wash your body 7 times. I want us to read verse 7 of it, verse 11 of it, and verse 12 of it. Verse 7 says, and it happened when the king of Israel read the letter that he tore his cloth and said, am I God to kill and make life? And that this man sends a man to me to heal him of leprosy. Therefore, please consider and see how he seeks quarrel with me. Okay, there's this thing that I want you to look or to check. This message was supposed to go to the prophet, but because of misunderstanding, the message went to the king. And now that the message went to the wrong place, healing is impossible because the king cannot heal. The only thing the king can do is to run the country. But now that the message went to the wrong person, there will never be healing. But if you go to verse number 8, the Bible says, it was so when Elisha, the man of God, heard that the king of Israel had torn his cloth, that he sent to the king saying, why have you torn your cloth? Please let him come to me, and he shall know that there is a prophet in Israel. Now the message went to the right place. You see, there are a lot of people who have missed God because of misunderstanding. There are a lot of people who have missed God because of disobedience. I don't know if you will understand what I'm saying here. But the message was supposed to go to the prophet, but now the message is going to the king. And now that the king cannot heal, Naaman will not be healed. But now in verse number 8, the message goes to the right person, and that the right person is the prophet. Then now the prophet is calling Naaman and says, Naaman, come. I want to see you. When I see you, you will know that there is a prophet. You will know that there is a prophet in Israel. Okay, it's fine. Let's jump to verse number 10. Verse number 10. And Elisha sent a message to him saying, go and wash in the Jordan 7 times, and your flesh shall be restored to you, and you shall be clean. Now Elisha says, after when Naaman came to Elisha, go and wash yourself in the river Jordan 7 times. Go and wash yourself in the river Jordan 7 times, and you shall be restored. Your flesh shall be clean. So now that Naaman met the right person, he is now receiving instructions. When we go on, you will understand that Naaman was expecting the prophet to wave his hand, to lay his hand upon him, to speak the name of the Lord. But now this is not what Naaman is receiving. Naaman is receiving a different thing. A different thing is happening now, because Naaman is expecting the man of God to come and say, be healed in the name of the Lord, be healed. I speak healing. I command the spirit of leprosy to leave. But the prophet does not do that. The prophet says, now go and wash yourself 7 times in the river. Let's hear what happens after that. Let's go to verse number 11. Verse number 11. But Naaman became furious and went away and said, indeed, I said to myself, he will surely come out to me and stand and call on the name of the Lord his God and wave his hand over the place and heal my leprosy. Now Naaman is saying that I thought to myself that the prophet will come and wave his hand over the place, pray for me in the name of the Lord, and command my leprosy to leave or to heal me from my leprosy. But this is not what the prophet did. So the Bible says Naaman was furious. Naaman was angry that I came from my place. I used my money. I used everything that I had. I believed in the man of God, and the man of God is disappointing me now. Why? Because I am expecting him to lay his hand upon me, but now he's commanding me to go and wash myself in the river Jordan. And in verse number 12, he's asking a question that, were there no other rivers where I'm coming from in Syria? Were there no other rivers that the man of God tells me to come and wash myself 7 times in the river Jordan? Were there no other rivers where I could go and wash myself? Better rivers. You see, in most of the times we expect God to use something better, and God says, no, I'm choosing to use the unwise. I'm choosing to use the underrated. A lot of us, we will miss God because we expect God to come through that prophet, that great prophet, and God says, no, I want to use this underrated man. I want to use this underrated prophet to humble the wise, to humble the proud. You understand? Thank you. Verse number 13, let's jump to 13. And his servant came near and spoke to him and said, my father, if the prophet had told you to do something great, would you not have done it? So the servant says, listen, you are told to do a very simple thing, and you don't want to do, because to you it seems like a simple thing. Like you get inside the river 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then it looks like, no, this man is playing with my mind. And then the servant says, if only you were told to do something big, wouldn't you do it? Yes, obviously it will do. Why? Because it says, no, this is a great thing. God obviously wants to use this thing to heal me. So how much more then when he says to you, wash and be clean? The servant is saying, it's very simple. So all of it, just go and wash and be clean. In other words, be obedient. Go and do what you are told to do. Very simple. Wash and be clean. It's a very simple instruction that Naaman has been given, but because he doesn't have the spirit of obedience, he goes before God expecting whatever he wants. He goes before God claiming God that when you go before God, the man of God will lay his hand upon you and you will be healed. And that is what Naaman was expecting, but then God said, no, wait, that's not what I want to do. I want to use the water this time around. I want you to obey my instructions. I want you to do exactly what I tell you and you will be healed. Verse number 14. So he went down and dipped 7 times in the Jordan, according to the saying of the man of God, and his flesh was restored like the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. The Bible says, then he went and dipped himself down into the river Jordan 7 times. And the Bible says, after that, his flesh was restored like that of a little child, and he was clean from leprosy. Obedience. Kuyingisela, kuendla leswi inga byiriwa swona, unga questionangi, unga kanakanangi. So a lot of us, God wants to bless us. Mara lexi endlaku ku hi nga amukeli mikateko ya hina i ku hi questiona rito ra Xikwembu, hi questiona ti-instructions ta Xikwembu, hi langutele ku va Xikwembu xi vulavula hi ndlela yin'wani ku nga ri leyi xo xi vulavulaka hi yona. Leswi swi vulavulaka a swi hi tsakisi, hi lava ku twa swin'wana leswi nga ta tsakisa tindleve ta hina ivi